The Golden Globes have always reflected Hollywood's heartbeat, but in 2026, they reflected something deeper: time itself. This was not a night driven by shock wins or viral moments. It was a night shaped by presence. As the lights softened and the room settled into silence, it became clear that this ceremony was no longer about who was next, but about who had endured. At the center of that moment stood two women who arrived without urgency, without performance, and without apology. Sarah Jessica Parker, a cultural architect who transformed television into a language of identity and reinvention.
Sarah Jessica and Carrie Bradshaw have great affection for New York City.
And Helen Mirren, a symbol of authority so complete that she never needs to raise her voice to command respect. Their journeys could not be more different, yet their impact converged on one truth: legacy is not claimed, it is earned. Golden Globes 2026 did not pit them against one another. It placed them side by side as parallel pillars of storytelling, reminding Hollywood that history does not fade. It waits for the right moment. Origins, the foundation of greatness. Long before gowns and global recognition, Sarah Jessica Parker learned discipline through survival. Raised in a working-class household, she understood early that talent alone was never enough. Broadway became her proving ground, not a shortcut to fame, but a training ground for resilience. Each audition taught her rejection. Each role taught her timing. Long before she became a symbol of modern femininity, she mastered the art of persistence. Helen Mirren's beginnings were shaped by structure rather than struggle, but no less demanding. Trained in classical theater, she was molded by precision, control, and fearless honesty. Her early years were marked by defiance, not loud rebellion, but quiet refusal to be limited. Where others chased approval, Mirren pursued excellence. She believed that authority came not from attention, but from preparation. Golden Globes 2026 carried the echo of these beginnings, reminding the audience that true icons are built long before they are celebrated. The moments that changed everything. Every legendary career has a moment when the world finally catches up. For Sarah Jessica Parker, that moment arrived through television. Sex and the City did more than redefine her career. It reshaped cultural conversation. Through Carrie Bradshaw, Parker gave voice to modern contradictions: independence and longing, confidence and doubt.
Sarah Jessica and Carrie Bradshaw have great affection for New York City.
She didn't just portray a character, she became a mirror for an entire generation. Helen Mirren's breakthroughs arrived differently. They were not tied to one role, but to a series of performances that carried undeniable weight. Whether portraying royalty, leaders, or morally complex women, Mirren brought authority without imitation. Her performances felt lived in, inevitable, and unshakable. She didn't seek dominance on screen, she was dominance. The Golden Globes 2026 acknowledged that impact doesn't always arrive the same way, but when it does, it changes everything. Reinvention in a world that fears time. Hollywood has long struggled with age, especially when it comes to women. Sarah Jessica Parker refused to disappear when trends shifted. Instead, she returned with intention, choosing roles that allowed women to age honestly, visibly, and unapologetically. She proved that relevance does not expire. It evolves. Helen Mirren never attempted reinvention because she never needed it. Time only sharpened her authority. Each year added gravity, not limitation. She selected roles that reflected power, wisdom, and danger, rejecting narratives that softened her presence. Aging, for Mirren, was not something to overcome. It was something to command. At the Golden Globes 2026, both women stood as living contradictions to an industry that fears time, reminding Hollywood that maturity is not decline, it is depth. Influence versus authority, two forms of power. Sarah Jessica Parker's influence lives in culture, in wardrobes, conversations, and self-expression. She reshaped how women spoke about love, ambition, and independence. Her impact extended beyond the screen, becoming part of everyday language and identity. Helen Mirren's power resides in authority. Her performances are studied, analyzed, and revered. She sets standards rather than trends. Younger actors do not imitate her. They measure themselves against her discipline and command. Golden Globes 2026 revealed that influence and authority are not rivals. They are two equally powerful languages of legacy. Endurance, silence, and comebacks. Neither journey was untouched by criticism. Parker carried the weight of an iconic role that threatened to define her forever. She faced backlash, scrutiny, and the expectation that her best work was behind her. Yet, she returned with clarity, reshaping her narrative on her own terms. Mirren faced early resistance for her refusal to conform. Typecasting attempted to narrow her range, but patience became her strategy. Time rewarded her restraint. While others burned brightly and faded, Mirren endured. Golden Globes 2026 honored not flawlessness but survival, the kind earned through patience, courage, and refusal to disappear. Legacy sealed in 2026. This night was not about winning. It was about recognition. Recognition that storytelling survives because women like Parker and Mirren expand its boundaries. They do not compete for space. They create it. Sarah Jessica Parker will be remembered as the woman who redefined modern femininity on screen, giving complexity a voice and vulnerability a platform. Helen Mirren will be remembered as the woman who carried authority like art, proving that power can be elegant, disciplined, and fearless. Golden Globes 2026 did not crown a champion. It acknowledged history. Two women, one truth. When the lights dimmed and the applause faded, one truth remained. Legends are not made by youth, trends, or moments of hype. They are made by endurance, discipline, and the courage to remain visible in a world that urges women to fade. On that night, Sarah Jessica Parker and Helen Mirren did not simply attend the Golden Globes. They redefined what it means to last. And Hollywood remembered, legacy is not something you chase. It is something you leave behind. Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.